So today's video is a little bit different because instead of having one main product that we're focusing the whole video around, I've got 5 little accessories from New Direction which are guaranteed to make life on the bank that little bit easier. Now the first thing we're going to look at is the little P11 quick release adapter, and this is super handy. We've probably featured it in videos before, but I don't know if we've ever actually talked about them. And the idea of these is to make setting up and packing away a lot quicker. You can use these on pretty much anything with a screw thread. So whether that's your alarms into your buzz bars, butt rest, your storm poles into your bivy, anything like that, this will make a lot easier. Now setting these up are super simple. If we're talking about alarms, you screw the alarm into the top section, you screw the bottom section into your buzz bar, and then basically the two sections will then come apart. Now they've got really strong magnets in them, so they're not going to come apart unless you actually pull them, and even pulling them isn't easy. So that shows how strong they are. But the nice thing about them as well, on the inside, the connection is actually squared off. So that means when it is together, there's no way of it slipping. So it's going to keep your alarms exactly where you need them to be. They're not going to end up spinning around as if it was a circular insert. Now these can be bought either individually or in sets of 2, 3, 4, however many you want to buy. But if we're talking about the individual adapter, they are £9.90 each. And these are available directly through Amazon and on Prime as well. So you can get these next day for £9.90 each. Now, I'm sure many of you, like me, end up struggling to get your alarm straight on your buzz bars. You end up screwing it all the way around, get to the end, and then it's at a slightly weird angle. Take it back a little bit, and then it ends up flying all the way undone. Now, rubber washers do help to a certain extent, but over time they end up perishing, they break up, and it still doesn't give a proper solid connection onto your buzz bars. So that is where these little directional nuts from New Direction come in. Now you can buy these in sets of 2, 3 or 4 again, and again they're available on Amazon, on Prime, so you can get them next day, and they are as cheap as £5 for a pack of 2. Now in the pack also comes a little tool. The idea of this is that the tool locks in place so you can get it as tight as possible. They're really simple to use. You basically screw it onto your alarm thread, screw your alarm onto your buzz bar as you would do normally, and then tighten this back down against the buzz bar. So that holds your alarm perfectly in place. It's not going to move. Once you've got it actually fixed like that, not going anywhere, you don't have to take it off. It is just a really useful little product that I think is probably New Direction's best product they've ever released. Something as small as this can make such a big difference when it comes to actually getting your rods set up properly. We've then got something you guys might recognise, and this is a New Direction shrink tuber. Now you might recognise it because I did do a full video on this, but it had to be included in this list of accessories because it is such a good little product. If you haven't seen the other video, then there will be a link coming up on the screen somewhere. Just as a quick overview of it, the idea of this is that you can shrink your tubing without the need to boil any water or to try and use a lighter and end up melting through your hook link or something like that. This works very well. Now it's a rechargeable device, and basically this gives around 100 cycles. So that's a lot of rigs. And the way it works, just at the top, there is a little ceramic plate. When you press the button, it simply heats up this plate to somewhere between 90 to 120 degrees, and it keeps that heat for a few seconds, which is enough time just to roll your rig around and actually shrink your tubing. It's as simple as that. It's a tiny little product, weighs barely anything, so something that's always worth having in your kit bag, because sometimes you just don't want to get all your brew kit out, boil water. Sometimes you might not even have your brew kit with you if you're just there for a day or something like that. So really useful little product, and again, nice and affordable. You can get these, they've just come into stock on the New Direction website for £19 a piece. We have then got something that might not be to everyone's taste, but to some of you, it will be the answer to your prayers. So this is the New Direction rod cup, and the idea of this is to protect the butt of your rod. This will simply peg in front of your bivy, so when you're rebaiting, that sort of thing, the butt of the rod will actually go into this little cup, and then it stops the butt of the rod going obviously onto the floor or something like that. So it protects the butt of your rod, and it stops it getting muddy, it stops it getting scratched if you're on a gravelly swim. So the sort of person that's very OCD with your fishing kit and you want to keep it immaculate, then something like this is really going to help you do that. Now you see you've got a little hole here, and the idea of that is you just put a bivy peg through it so it stays in place for the duration of your session. You know, each time you go and rebait your rods, simply put the butt into there and it's not going to get dirty or it's not going to get all scratched up. The other nice thing about it is there are little slots all the way around the bottom of this. So if you're on a very wet session, it's not going to end up just collecting water. The water can just run straight out. Now, again, they're nice and affordable. You can get a set of 4 of these on Amazon, on Prime, next day delivery for £11.90. So like I say, it's not something for everyone, but for a few of you, you'll be really pleased about this little product. And then finally, we have got this little USB Bivy Light. This has been mainly designed to work in conjunction with the New Direction Bivy table that they produce. If you remember that one, we have done a proper video on that. The table has a little power bank that can sit underneath it and then put USB ports onto the top of the table. So the idea is this USB socket or USB will then go into the socket and it will give you a little Bivy light for your actual table. But this can be used with pretty much anything. Any power bank, as long as you've got a USB-A connection, which is your standard USB, then this is going to work. And the whole thing is flexible. The whole neck of the light is flexible, so you can use it pretty much wherever and however you want to. It's really simple. It's really low wattage, so it's not going to drain any power out of your power bank really. And it's basically got a little touch button on top. Now this has both a red and a white LED, so you can choose whatever color you want. And it's really easy to use. You've basically got 1 touch for red, you've got 2 touches for white, but you can also adjust the brightness of it as well. So once you've actually got it turned on, just by holding down, it will then adjust the brightness, whether you want it brighter or dimmer. It kind of goes through a cycle. So yeah, it's a very cool little product in a nice carpy green, and the best part is it's super cheap as well. Like a lot of the products that I've shown you in this video today, you can get this on Amazon on Prime for next day for just £7.90. So it's a really cool little addition. Obviously it packs away nice and small, so it's always worth having in the bag just in case your main Bivy lamp fails you or something like that, and you know that you don't have to worry about keeping it charged because it just plugs straight into a power bank. So yeah, very cool little product. All the products are really useful, which is why I thought it was a good idea to do this video, and all of them aren't going to break the bank as well. So if you want to find out any more information about any of these, then head over to the New Direction Tackle website, where there's going to be all the ins and outs of each of these products. But like I say, most of them, pretty much all of them, are available on Amazon as well. If you've got any questions, then just pop it in the comments below. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.